overshadows all of the negative things that we've been hearing on the media and all that, is that I feel COVID-19 particularly helped me and my family by bringing us together. Since we stay together, and before this we were quite distant, but being forced to live together helps us to actually address the issues that we have, and it helps us to communicate better, and hence I'd say in a way it did improve relationships between me and my family members. And last but not least, I say that with all of the rapid changes that is going on, it definitely opened my eyes to how fast and drastically things can change over a short period of time. So it definitely um, made me more aware that changes and things like this could happen overnight. So it really changes my perspective on life in this modern world um, as a whole. And that definitely is a little bit helpful for me, so that I could predict what could happen in the future. And definitely the COVID-19 situation kind of, in a way, trained me and my family to react and respond to pandemic um, in a more constructive way, instead of panicking and all that. After 1 year and more, definitely it helps us to rethink about things that we do in our lives, and definitely helps us find better ways to do things. And I think that's amazing in a way, you know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ford, for your explanation. So we move on to the next question, as we should be. What are the most relatable effects experienced by a situation after COVID-19, including your families, obviously? What will be for?
Um, I would say that, as I mentioned before, it made us more aware of the things that are going on. So before this, we were not really aware because we are so caught up in our work and the stresses of living in a modern world. But it definitely changes our perspective towards healthcare and infection control,
Has COVID-19 impacted your life as whole?
and practicing social distancing, um, wearing masks. These are all things that we should actually do on a daily basis, right? Because we have never been stuck with a pandemic for so long that we just think that it's not going to happen anytime soon until it's too late. So yeah, I think in that way it definitely helps all of us to create a new norm where personal protection is the most important thing. Yeah, so that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ford, for your response. So as you know that we move on to the last questions. So
Okay.
what are the best steps that your family institution needs to take to sustain the support the development of the country? So what do you think the steps you could take to develop the country, you think?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Um, we all know that society is uh, composed of people who make the government that rules the country. And I feel that every person in the nation holds that responsibility.
Everyone. My name is Valarmadi, and you all can address me as Varsha. So today I'll be doing an interview session with my sister, Miss Reena here. And yeah, so I'll move on to the questions. Miss Reena, please say hello.
Hello, hi everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Rina. I would like to ask you the first question, which is what are the positive and negative effects do you find when COVID-19 occurs?
Okay, because the negative part that I encounter is like which is like clearly so visible is that like our lifestyles have changed. Due to this pandemic, we are required to work from home. Okay, work from them, like they stay at home, so they feel that they are unable to have a healthy lifestyles like as per normal. So these are really create a very huge impact towards them. So the positive side is positive side of this COVID-19 is because we can clearly spend time, what do you call, quality time with your family members, and then due to this you can pursue your passion, which been hidden so far within yourself.
Okay, so thank you very much for answering the first question. So I'll go on with the next question. What are the contributions from your institution towards the other institutions which are affected by COVID-19?
Okay, so what I have done actually, I was adhering all the FOP which being imposed by our government. This is the most essential responsibility that you can contribute to another institution, such as you need to maintain social distance, wear mask all the time. Okay, and then you only go out to the grocery shop when if it's necessary only. Then you need to wash your hands, because if you minimize the exposure, so then you couldn't get what you call human contacts as much as possible, what I'm trying to say. So because we are living in a society, we are living in a family, so you need to also take care of your other family members as well.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to the last question. So what is your advice to those who give up or demotivated with the COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay, my advice is very simple. I do have some friends who are experiencing this chronic illness, which they have fatigue, and they feel so demotivated all the time. So my advice is very simple actually. I just ask them to try to communicate with or interact with family members, their friends. If they have any issues, they can just try to have a conversation with their own with their friends, and they can share their whatever problems they have with them actually. Then besides that, I would suggest them to do some what do you call meditation, so they can make a good decision. If you have a very calm mind and you have a very steady mind, so you need to meditate. They have, maybe some of them, they don't have jobs, so they are really lost. So they don't know who to go and search for. So nowadays many institutions are there, financial aid. So they need to talk to somebody. They need to talk, then they're able to get these financial aid from all these institutions. Then this situation is overall just a temporary situation. So we need to overcome this. So we need to help it. We need to support and help one another during these hard times. So basically, this is what I advise. Just be calm. We need to be strong. We need to ensure that everyone work together, and we need to get in touch with all other